Welcome, friends, to the Play Guitar Podcast. I am Lee, and I'm here to help you become the guitar player that you always wanted to be. Welcome. This is going to be a good one. Here's why. This will be the third time I've done it, so I know this topic inside and out. So you're about to get a good one right here. First time went through it. The audio recorder stopped working. The second time, I forgot to turn the video cameras on. So this is the third time through. This is about dynamics and pick attack and things that you can express yourself with. And this is the podcast. So if you are new to this, or if you just forgot, there's two parts to each of the week's content. The first one is a lesson video, which dives right into the tablature. You get your hands on playing these things. That is in the link in the description below. And the other part is the deep dive, why we work on this stuff. What are the issues that you have to deal with to be able to practice this and be able to pull this stuff off. And that is the podcast, which you are listening to now. So we're going to do a little deep dive into this thing. And I've got an outline, and I doubt I'm going to stick with it since this is the third time through, but we'll see what happens. Most guitar players focus too much on notes and not enough on expression. Let's talk about that a little bit. Notes, right? That's what it's all about. We got to figure out, well, what notes are in this chord? What's the shape? What are the pattern for the scale that I'm going to use? So I can play one. Can I remember the rest of them? I'm going to play a solo. Which notes should I play? I got so many of them. And it becomes like anxiety a little bit. I don't know. Is this right? Am I playing the right note? Am I playing enough? Should I go way up here and play? I don't know if I remember the pattern way up there. Here it goes on and on and on again, right? And so when you have those kind of thoughts, they're like air in a balloon. They just fill your head up. They take up all of your focus, and you forget about some of the other things that maybe would be better for you to pay attention to. In this episode, I am going to show you all about expressive solos. And this is for any style of music, but we're talking about blues today. And why that dynamics, phrasing, and space make all the difference there. How do your solos sound when you play them? Think about it. Say it out loud. Oh, that's funny. So do they feel... I hear this aimless. Of course, I hear that all the time, but lifeless, robotic, those kind of things, monotone, they sound the same. I could be playing a totally different key and it sounds exactly the same. Everything I play sounds the same. If that's you, take a listen, and we might be able to do something very easy that's going to change the way you play forever. The biggest mistake most guitar players make is focusing on notes and not enough on feel, right? So what's feel? Expressive playing, expressing yourself, communicating a feeling, right? It's not about playing more. It's about playing better. Ooh, think about that, right? It's not about lumping new things on. It's about taking what you play and using it to communicate. Today, we're going to explore how dynamics, phrasing, and space will transform your solos. So let's talk about that. What's expressive? Well, let's talk about dynamics are expressive. What are dynamics? Dynamics is when you take control of how loud or how soft or how medium or how whatever you play a chord or a single note or a passage of notes. Right? You take control of it. You do things intentionally. What's the difference? The difference between playing loud and soft, but the important part is with intent, right? I meant to do that. It's not just an accident. You're not just hoping for the best. We're making these little decisions about how we can start quiet and build, or play really loud on this one note and then quiet on the others. Dynamics create tension and release. We talked a lot about that in note choices. What notes you play can create tension and release, but dynamics can do that as well too. So most guitar players sound flat because they're overplaying a lot, and they don't really, they don't have a whole lot of variation. They play just up and down with no control over volume. And you know, I didn't really get into this before, but using the volume knob, especially if you've got this is a clean tone on the edge of breakup. And if you hit it hard, it does break up. But if you play it quietly, it cleans up. But if you lower the volume down, it becomes a pristine clean sound, right? So I have control over every note that I play, the volume that it comes out. And that could be from my pick or could be from the volume knob. But I also have control over the attack that I use. And this is extremely emotional. So if I'm playing with a sharp attack at a medium volume, it's going to have a very different sound than if I play with a sharp attack at a low volume or at a high volume. I could play with a dull attack, medium, low, or high. The dull attack is almost like a thud when you play it there. So as I get more comfortable with using the guitar pick in different ways, I can change my attack to match my loudness and softness of notes and really get something that's expressive no matter what you're playing, no matter how easy it is that you're playing. You can turn something that's easy into something fantastic. It has happened to me. I've told this story a bunch of times, but there was this one show, it was an important show, and I was up for it. I played 1,000,000 notes. I thought I sounded great. Nobody cared. Not a one person cared about that. And I accidentally played one good note, hit a little feedback, and used dynamics and emotion, and took that one note, and the whole band followed. They all got quiet, and then we built on that one note, and it brought the house down. Come on. I was upset and elated at the same time. One, because things that I have working my whole life to be able to play, nobody cared about. And two, this little accident of this one note, well, at least I brought the house down somehow. I'll take it. Okay. So, it was emotional, and I was communicating an emotion, and a group of people all went along with me on that. It was really, really wonderful. We got 3 key techniques to master this expressive playing. Picking dynamic control, picking softly versus aggressively. We're going to be talking about what to practice, how to apply this with your solos. One of the things, let's mix it all together. How do you practice this? Most people don't. They start playing and they get an idea. Hey, I'll play quiet. And they play quiet and they play sloppy. Because when you play quietly, you're kind of timid to hit those notes. I don't want to hit it too hard because it's going to be too loud. But the problem is sometimes you'll miss the string. You'll click the strings. Your rhythms get off. Your timing gets off because you're trying to play quietly, and it doesn't track very well, I guess, for a lack of a better word, right? So how do you do that? You practice on purpose. Have you ever practiced your scale patterns as quietly as you could practice them? That's great. I get ideas as I'm going up to that. I'm hearing my scale patterns in a way that I don't normally hear them. You know, I practice. I go at a nice, medium, solid, in the middle tempo there. Right? I mean, the volume there. Right? But how about aggressively? Do you ever practice your scale patterns aggressively? I wouldn't want to do that all the time, but there is times in a solo. There was one where we did in the lesson today where I bent a note and we were having a crescendo, starting low and building and getting louder and louder and louder. And as I was doing that, I was also changing the attack on my pick. I was angling it more so I would get more of the side and have more of a sharp attack as I was building that too. So practicing those things, picking softly versus aggressively. How about practicing your scales finger style? Very soft. And then when you try to have a very high volume and a very high attack, they kind of pull a lot. They smack off of the frets a little bit, which is a whole different sound that you can get. And that communicates something to people across there. So shaping your tone with finger pressure on this thing. How about... forget the outline here. I'm going off. How about hybrid picking? I'm alternating the pick and then just my middle finger. So if I wanted to play very loud with my pick, it would be sharp. But if I played loud with my middle finger, it would be a pull. Another thing we need to work on, and that's space, not playing. When don't you play? Especially for lead guitar players, this is tough because you're waiting the whole song to get to that point where you can play. And you know all these scale patterns, and you know all these notes, and I know you want to play every single one of them. You want to play those notes, right? And it's your time, and you've got 8 bars or 12 bars or whatever, 16 bars, whatever you've got to play. And it's time, go. And before you know it, you just overplayed. You just played a whole lot of stuff over there. Did any of it mean anything? Did any of it communicate? No. Well, one of the biggest dynamics that you could use is rest space. That's when your volume goes to 0. You're not playing, right? And the longer that happens, the more tension that you build. So if you're to play, wow, everything just dropped out and then came back up. Each time I stopped, did you know when I was going to come back in? No, you didn't. I didn't even know. I did it all by how it felt at the time, right? So I left some space there. It's very powerful. Space and rest. Silence is a tool. You don't need to fill every single second with all of your pentatonic notes. You need to pause a little bit. We're programmed to respond to the voice. And the voice speaks in phrases and sentences. Then we have to stop, take a breath, and then go on with the next one, right? So that's something that you should think about. I'm playing solos and nobody thinks they're any good. Well, what if you played something very simple like this? You might say, that sounds pretty good. It was 3 notes. It was the same 3 notes that you've played all over the time. What was different? I left a little breathing room. I might hear and think, hey, that sounds pretty good. It's expressive. It's just 3 notes, but an expressive 3 notes. Why? I put a little space in there. Had some dynamics in there, had a little vibrato on that, bending notes. A lot of those things are things we use to communicate with. So that even though it was 3 notes, there was a lot of stuff in there with what I just played right there. So we're going to start practicing this stuff. How do you practice expressing solos, right? Well, intention, setting out, okay, I'm going to practice right now and I'm going to, let's say, pick 5 licks. Well, the first thing we did was play our scales and try and practice our scales quiet, medium loud, pretty loud, super loud, and aggressive, and being used to playing them in your practice. If you don't play them in your practice, they're not going to sound good when they just happen out there. You need to take control of these things. So the next one is working with licks. Playing a guitar lick in many different ways using different dynamics. So I know everyone there, for those of you listening on the podcast stuff, I'm holding up a phone. Do you have a phone? Are you listening to me on a phone right now? Is the phone in your pocket? Can you see the phone? That is your own personal recording studio right here. And you should become very skilled at recording your guitar practices with that. You get a lot of information with this. Record yourself playing the same lick 3 different ways with 3 different dynamics. Use what's in the lesson this week. We use what's in what I talked about today. What's in the lesson? I did some accents, playing loud every other note. I did some crescendos, right? Starting low and going high. You could reverse that, high to low. You could play the middle loud and the ends quiet. But take a lick. Let's do this. So there's nice, everything's medium right there. So what if I went quiet in the beginning? And then really hit it there. Or loud in the beginning. That means something totally different than the other 2. Change a note here or there in the middle of all of your different emotional things, all of your different dynamics there, right? Play the same lick. I'd say get 5 licks, right? And play each of them 3 different ways using 3 different intentional ideas, and record them with your phone and go back and watch them. You'll hear something that I'm sure you didn't hear while you were playing it before. Slow down too. Don't go too fast. We want to focus on the articulation for this. One thing you can do is adjust your touch on these as well too. Try playing the same lick finger style. Try playing the same lick with the aggressive, with the pick turned towards the floor a little bit. Maybe turn the pick on its side. Use the rounded side of the pick to get a little bit more of a softer touch. But playing these same licks in ways that you might not normally play to get sounds that you might hear when you listen back to your phone. You go, I've got to use that every day. I don't know why I wasn't doing that up till now, right? That sounded fantastic. Why not use dynamics every day? How about the last thing that I'll say today is learning from great players. So who's your favorite guitar player? Say it out loud. Did you say me? I've said that twice today already. This is the 3rd time. That was my joke. It wasn't even as funny as I said. It was really funny the first time I said. Not fun. Not so much funny now. But who's your favorite guitar player? And take a listen to one of your favorite solos that they play, or songs that they play. One of the times I did this podcast, I talked about Jeff Beck playing A Day in the Life and all the dynamics in that, from super quiet to incredibly loud, all in one song. That's a big arc to play. Fingers on the frets, fingers picking the stuff, vibrato bar. It's amazing the way he played that song. And these are things that you can do too. So if you take a listen to that, you might write down notes as you listen. You might say, "Oh, it starts soft. Oh, it sounds like he changes attack there. This part gets really loud, then it drops down to nothing." That was one of the coolest things too about the lesson this week. Is I had a let's see here. It was this part. So I had a medium dynamics going up to loud and dropping down to nothing. That's very effective too. Reminds me of Jeff Beck as well too. So turn transcribe maybe a little bit of the solo and write down notes about how it was played. And take those ideas and make some versions for yourself. You spent the time listening. You might as well get those ideas from those solos, change them up a little bit, and put them into your own bag of tricks. It's very important. Okay. Well, I've had a great time talking about this. This is something that when you see someone who's practicing, and not feeling like they're getting any better, this is something that can instantly make you sound better by just thinking about how you come across with your tone, with your dynamics, with your attack. All of these things are very important. They all communicate instantly. Your note choice may communicate to somebody and may not, but this stuff is going to there. So I want to thank you for hanging out today. I want to tell you a little bit about Blues Solo Breakthrough. So what I've done is I took my old free blues soloing course. I had a little free course called Get Your Blues Solos Under Control. I did that a long time ago, and I updated it and I added a ton to it. So even if you went through it before, and if you've got it before, you're going to get this one. But if you haven't signed up for it, I highly guarantee you did. If you went over, I've been talking about it past couple of weeks because it wasn't quite finished yet. So if you signed up for it, you will get it as soon as it comes out. You're on the waiting list. I will just send it right out to you. This is a 6-day class. And so each day you will get a new lesson, one every day for 6 days. And this is like an overview of how to really make your blues soloing sound good and know what you need to work on. That's a big problem for a lot of people. I want to work on something. I just don't know what to do. Well, this is going to help you with that. It'll come to you by email. 6 steps to confident killer solos. And there's tips, there's strategies, and you will be able to play confidently and make every note count if you do that. So go ahead and sign up today. Most likely by the time you hear this, I may have it out, maybe 1 or 2 more days. I just want to make sure that it's perfect. So thanks a lot. That's a wrap. Thanks for joining me today for the Play Guitar Podcast. Make sure to hit the button below to subscribe to the show. If you have benefited from this podcast, please leave a favorable review over at Apple Podcasts. It's to everybody. It's the best way to make sure we get this very valuable content to more guitar players around the world. And if you are looking for a group of people to learn along with and learn from, I would highly suggest becoming an Academy member and coming to our little group class that we have every Wednesday at 5:00 Eastern time. We have a great group of people. Everyone's learning at the same time. I actually teach a class at the end of it. I always have some new content to teach there, but we also take questions, and it's a lot of fun. It's the biggest part of becoming an Academy member. Also, you get the 10, was it 9 or 10 12-week courses of the roadmap. And then you also get all of the stuff for every one of the YouTube videos, all the backing tracks, the tabs, the guitar profiles, all those things. It's a great deal. And we have good people over there, and it'd be nice to see you over there on Wednesday so I could say hi to you, because you're at the advantage. I don't know nothing about you, and you know a lot about me if you listen. So I'd like to meet you so I can learn a little bit more about you and your guitar playing. Maybe I could help you a little bit too. Okay, so I will see you over there. Thanks so much for hanging out today, and I look forward to seeing you.